Okay, I'm live. Hello everyone, this is Urinstein and this will be Hotline Miami. We can start in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so that last donation was, by the way, myself. I forgot to log into speedrun.com, so the joke kind of fell flat. Anyway, this is Hotline Miami. It's a top-down shooter. When you play it casually, it's kind of a puzzle game because you have to figure out how each level works and what everyone there is doing, but, well, I know all the levels, so it's more of a run-and-gun shooting thing. I'll die in one hit to both melee and to bullets, so sometimes I can survive bullets, but that's really rare. So, again, as in my last game, I'll donate $1 for every death I get. I hope I will keep count on those. The category is NG plus all levels. That's quite a stupid name. Anyway, NG plus self-explanatory. I have already played through the game. I've got most of the stuff that you can get, but the only one I really need is the Brandon mask. Brandon mask is one you get at the very end, so you won't see him in NG new game runs. What he does is he walks 30% faster, and who would have thought 30% faster walking speed is pretty fast, so that's what we're going to do in the speedrun. The first levels aren't very complicated, so I don't really need to talk about those, I think. Oh, right. I don't need to get my mask in the beginning. What's there to say? There's a lot of RNG in the game. Most of the actions you do have some randomness to them. Your bullets don't go the same way every time. The amount of hits you need to kill someone who's lying on the ground is different between 2 and 5. The weapons that the AI spawns with are random, so in turn the ones you will be picking up are random. But most of the guns, or all of the guns, are very useful in most situations. There are very few situations where you pray for a specific one. Oh, right. So, this is Overdose, third level. This is where things get kind of interesting. The first floor, not very much, so I forgot about this one guy. There you go. The second floor is interesting. Oh. So I take this thing behind the wall, I hide behind this corpse, and now I can shoot through walls. This is the only level in the game where you can shoot through walls. I don't know why they didn't make another one of those, because it seems like a very interesting mechanic. But yeah, it's the third level and the last level you can do this on. I have not prepared any commentary. There's really not much to say. There are no game-breaking bugs or really useful bugs in this category. In new game runs, you're allowed to do anything really, so there are 2 levels where you can just skip them. And one of them is this one. Oops. So instead of... Alright, I didn't explain this about all levels. So usually you just need to kill everyone on every level, and then the game says, well done, chapter clear. And that's what we need for new game plus all levels. The game telling us that we've cleared the level. This was the wrong idea. For this guy I need a shotgun, by the way. So I'm not allowed to skip this level by glitching myself there. It's very important that you spin the girl when you pick her up here. It's called the hook spin. If you don't do it, your run is not valid.
We just got a $5 anonymous donation. No comment, but that brings the total for the crosscode demo at $37 out of 75. So we're getting quite close to meeting that. So yeah, keep those donations coming.
Thanks for those donations. That will be my game. Oops. So we skip pretty much every dialogue and cutscene, except these. Oh yeah, this is something you only have to do in new game plus all levels. You're not allowed to go into the menu and choose each level individually. You just have to start a new game and then go through. So you have to do these intros and outros. Now in the outros, instead of picking up all the stuff as you would do in a casual playthrough. You just walk straight into the car, so that's what you'll see me doing. In the intros, you have to pick up the phone. This is a really hard floor, but it went really well. And this one is really easy, and it might go really badly. That's alright, too. Most of the game is really just playing well. There's a lot of bugs. There's a lot of bugs and glitches in the game. Most of them are not useful, and in New Game Plus All Levels there's like three useful ones, none of which we've seen yet. That was... Oh yeah, right, we're in Chapter 2, in Act 2 already. Is it Act 2? I think it's called Act in Hotline 2. Hotline 2, by the way, a really bad speed game, you shouldn't even think about it. Oh, this one is my favorite level. This one's very heavy on cycles, so you need to get the cycle in that one room in the bottom, and then there's a cycle in this top room. There we go, we clear this one with melee. And then there's many strats for this room, this floor, but I go with melee first and then I hop in here. You can tell most levels are really short. And while they are really short, some of them are really complex and there's many different strats you can use. When you watch 5 different good runners, if you watch 15 different runners of different skill levels, none of them will be playing the same strats everywhere, and strats have been changing a lot ever since I started playing the game last year in January, so I've been playing this for over a year. People have changed the strats a lot. Some strats have been founding. Oh my god, this is a great floor. There's a lot of people in the room, but when you stand in this corner here, most of them can't see you. Like this dude with the Uzi, he will not see you when you stand in close to the wall, and there's only 2 guys you have to take care of them. You shoot these across the hallway, you bait them, and then they are right in line, and you just walk down. It's awesome. Oh my god. My aim is really off because the sensitivity is I'm not used to it. I couldn't get it to work for myself. That's really my fault for underestimating how hard it is to play on a system you're not used to. I made it. It's a really great level when it works out. And that was really not the intended way to play the level. What the developers wanted you to do is walk into the one room, get out the window, then walk across really slowly, and then do the level from bottom up. But by baiting them from the elevator, it gets really trivial, actually.
We just got another $5 anonymous donation saying, "I'm doing my part." And with that, we're only $33 away from meeting the crosscode demo incentive.
This is a great level, but it's... There's not a lot to say, actually. But what I have to say, you have to enter each floor with a melee weapon. So not a single one dropped on this floor. So I have to find the one I came in with. Well, never mind. I'll try to make it work. I can make it work. Oh my god. Oh my god, I got really lucky. This guy was walking out the door right as I shot across the hallway, and he died. So sometimes when the AI reacts to sound, they comment you immediately. Like they say, "Oh, I heard something," and they move immediately. The bullets aren't even there. The sound of the bullet could not have reached them. So sometimes you shoot, and by that you lure them around the corner, and that's how they die. It's pretty awesome. They don't react like that at all to sight. You have with Brandon especially, because you're so fast, you have a lot of time to just walk up to people before they can see you. This is a boss fight new people learning the game really don't like. They say it's really random, and it does have some random elements to it, but not if you work him the right way. So you can dance with him a little bit, and then instead of doing what he wants, he will just do what you want. There's a way to manipulate him. And then it's easy every time, no RNG at all. And that was part 2. So every part of the game consists of 4 levels. And upcoming is part 3, which is probably the most... well, all 4 levels are pretty hard. Part 4 is also really hard, but it only has two of them. So I think most resets happen on this, or most resets that really hurt happen on this part of the game.
We just got another $3 anonymous donation saying, a speedrun of a demo? Why not? L. And another $10 donation from Visen saying, hi from New Zealand, best of luck to Urinstein, glad I got to see your Momodora and Hotline runs, meme runs next, question mark?
Thanks pal, that's a Momodora runner, actually the one I watched the most and learned the most of. This is one of my least favorite levels. I always die a lot on the first floor. This floor is very interesting. You only walk through half of it and shoot the rest through the glass, hopefully. And this floor, I hope this strat works. Kinda, yeah. People come from 2 sides and you don't have anywhere to hide. So with Brandon, it's pretty easy to just walk across really fast and hide on the left side, which you wouldn't really do with any other mask. And when I say any other mask, there's really only one other mask that you use a lot in speedruns, which is Tony. You get him really early, after the 2nd level. So in new game runs, you'll see him used. His ability is to just kill people with his fists, so every time you run out of ammo or people are coming too close and you feel uncomfortable, you throw away your gun, you punch them, they're dead. Works even on dogs. So with Brandon, I need to have a melee weapon to kill dogs. Or a gun, obviously. But shooting them with a gun is really annoying. They have an impossible, just 4D hitbox, which no one understands. I mean, the hitbox is just the head, but the way they move, it's impossible to tell where the head is right now. So for dogs I need a weapon, and for fat guys I need a gun. They only die to guns. This floor you might not have been able to tell, but I have not killed everyone on this level, because the game is scripted to, when you kill I want to say 10 guys on the 2nd floor, suddenly a SWAT AI will come into the level and kill everyone, the AI and you, and also there will be a sniper laser through the window, so you have to take care not to stand in front of a window, and then you can already leave the level and the game accepts that as beaten. You can kill everyone if you like, it's really hard, and in a speedrun, utterly useless. This is one of my favorite levels. And it's the bane of the existence of everyone who's trying to learn the game. And the reason for that is the next floor after this. So the 2nd floor is really easy actually. I'll take this weapon. There are different strats for this. This is sort of the Brandon strat, and you shoot everyone from across the room. And when it works well, it looks really fast. But it can be really problematic. And then the last floor, also a strat that was really only ever used for Brandon. Don't know why I'm doing this actually. it didn't really work. I wanted to bait people to come to me, but then I had to sort of go to them anyway. Baiting is a big part of the game. So people react to sound, and if you don't want to traverse through the whole level, you want people to come at you, then you can take them out in one swing with a melee weapon, for example, or across the hall with a gun. So that speeds up the process a lot, and it sounds really good. However, it's random whether or not they react to sound. Sometimes you have to shoot a lot, sometimes you have to shoot only once. If you have a shotgun, you have to sometimes just shoot all your whole magazine to make people come to you. For this floor I want an assault rifle in order to bait people, and also there's really a lot of people coming, so I need the ammo. So the top left, oh my god, I didn't kill that one guy. So the bottom left room actually, I don't want to go there, I want to bait people out of that room. Like this one guy comes from there and then, holy shit. It's a really hard floor. But since you don't know if or when someone will come, it's a really hard floor and quite inconsistent. This is a boss fight. The boss fights are really not that hard. You just kill these 4 dudes and then you're done. And I think we're also done with part 3 of the game. 60 minutes. That's not really fast. I think with 60 minutes I want to be in the hospital already, or walking out of the hospital and not into the bar, which I should not have done at all.
So we are currently $20 away from meeting the crosscode demo incentive, so make sure to get your donations in for that. You've got a couple of minutes left, so be sure to be fast.
I have not kept count of my deaths at all. The game is really stressful. It's really fast, but when you die, you just immediately, you press R, you respawn and jump right into the game again. It's a stressful game. You don't see people grinding for more than 2 or 3 hours usually. Even though this category has some downtime between levels. New game does not, because when you're done with a level, you just go into the menu and select the next one. This is Trauma. People hate this level because your walk and physics are different. It's a stealth level. From a gameplay perspective, no one likes the idea of having a stealth level in Hotline Miami because it's an action game. But I quite like it in the speedrun because you get a break between 4 really hard levels, and then the next one is probably my least favorite level. The one I'm worst at. It's a really, really long, complicated, hard level. And Trauma, so there's no RNG. It's the only level, except from, no, actually, it's the only level where there's no possible RNG. You cannot get any RNG there, so it's pure skill to get through there. If you get through there, you're a very skilled person. Actually, it's really, really easy. If you die there, you should feel bad about yourself. And this one, if you die here, that's just because the game decided to kill you. Like, there's really, sometimes, no rhyme, no reason to what happens on this goddamn level. This is an interesting technique. Oh. Shit. If the AI reacts to sound, they will not look over certain objects. So usually they can, the AI can look over, give me a gun. Shit. I picked up a melee weapon, unfortunately. They will be able to look over tables and stuff and shoot you. However, if they're reacting to sound, because you baited them with a gun. They will not do that at all. So you're pretty safe behind these counters, for example, right here. And I didn't have any ammo to actually take these guys out. For the next floor I want an assault rifle because I'll be just really running through here really fast. This was not fast because I got a knockdown. Oops. Oh, and that was a good floor actually. Sometimes it gets really a lot worse than this. This thread is complete RNG. If the AI decides to stand in the corner, you're dead. But it worked now. These guys in the center, you can get close to them. And the one in the middle is deadly as hell. Oh, I gotta explain this. So I punched this dude through the wall. Usually you're supposed to... Can you die? This guy right here. Usually you're supposed to get a key. Oh my god. Really dumb and really risky, but that's kind of the name of the game here. Usually on the last floor you're supposed to get a key, then kill everyone, then walk around, open the cell, talk to him, or punch him rather. And then you go back again into the top room, get the documents. That's really slow. We don't want to do that. Instead, that's one of the few walls where you can punch through. Usually when you touch a wall with a melee weapon, the game will basically deactivate your attacks. But you can attack through that wall, punch him in the middle of the level, in the middle of killing everyone, and you don't have to go back around again. And then you take the documents at the end. So that's called Richter skip because the guy, holy moly, that dog just hates my face. And this guy is, this level is really annoying. The dog is not dying, I can't. Thanks. I kind of forgot what I was talking about. This level is really hard. It's pure execution. The RNG is less of a problem than just being good at it. And then these guys are on a cycle. You kind of get a feeling for it where they are, depending on how fast you are. And that's it already. We're almost done with this part of the game. There's sort of a final boss coming up. That's not what... It's an annoying boss. People who get there have to figure out what they are supposed to do. And then it's a very specific timing for your actions. You have to kill these panthers with melee, and you don't supposed not to stand too close to them. And then immediately after the dialogue, you have to throw this cup at this girl, and then after this dialogue, you have to throw at this guy. Usually there's a way to cheese him by standing behind cover, but you can practice this. Just stand right on top of the girl where the knives will spawn, and just immediately throw at him. You shouldn't lock on. Interestingly, if you lock on, there's a possibility that you miss. So after a few 100 or 200 hours of playing the game, you should definitely be throwing at the final boss without locking on. So this cutscene kind of leads into, so I'll be skipping this, but it kind of leads into these credits, which makes it look as if the game was over. But now we'll have an epic rewind back in time about 2 months, 2.5, and we'll be playing the game as someone else. This dude, you might recognize him, but it'll be even more apparent in a bit. He plays very differently. He cannot pick up guns. He has a cleaver with which he spawns. He cannot throw it away. And he has 3 throwing knives. Unfortunately, there's only 2 levels you use him on. He's actually really cool. He also walks a lot faster than most masks. He just walks slightly slower than Brandon. Obviously, since you can't shoot at people and rely on melee, walking fast is very important. Kind of the same with Brandon, actually. You would think that a mask who can punch people with his fists is a melee-based mask, but the melee-based mask is actually Brandon, because you can just walk up to everyone and hit them. Oof. Fuck. Didn't get the one bait and I didn't know about it, and then I was seen through the window there. This is amazing. Oops. And yeah, as I was saying, Tony's strategies are actually much more based on baiting, because he's slow. Slow masks, you don't want to walk, you want to bait everyone to you, and AIs even walk faster than you when you're a normal, most of the masks. With Brandon it's different, you're faster than them, you want to go to them probably. Similar with, I mean, you can't bait anyone as Biker. This guy is called Biker because he rides a bike. You can't bait anyone anyway, so you have to walk up to everyone. You only have 3 knives. Speaking of which, we'll be shooting this guy with a knife. Otherwise we would have to talk to him for a moment, and we don't want to talk to people. That's not fast. And this, you might recognize this area from before. That was the one boss fight I was talking about, that you could manipulate the enemy. And actually we're playing as that enemy. So in this timeline, Biker wins against the main character of the game. And he, in contrast to the main protagonist, actually solves the mystery of the phone calls. Time will be coming up when I walk up. Oops. Gotta skip all this dialogue, you have to click through all of this. And when I touch the bike, that's time.
So since it's almost time, this will be your last chance to donate the remaining $20.
Tech? No? Time? No? Now. Thanks. Okay. So 27 is not the best, not the worst. I can live with that. So yeah, that was NG Plus all levels. Hotline Miami. Thanks for watching.
And just like that, at the very last second, I just saw a $20 donation, an anonymous donation, come in saying, bonus game hype. So with that, the bonus game has been met, and we'll be moving on to Crosscode demo.